Good morning and afternoon to everybody. Thanks for joining another one of our bi-weekly webinars here at PSPDFKit. My name is Richard. I am the VP of Sales here at PSPDFKit. I have Paviter joining me as well in the background. Paviter is one of our solutions engineers that have been with us for a while. We certainly welcome everyone to joining us today. We see people are still getting kind of situated and still joining. Love to hear where everyone's joining from. If you want to drop that in the chat where you're located, I think it's always interesting to see how far PSPDFKit reaches. But yeah, a little bit about today. We're going to spend some time going over, who PSPDFKit is, what we do, and then showing you a good bit about a functionality that you can kind of add to your workflows and your applications, and then some general FAQs where you can find things, where you can contact support, how you can get pricing and things like that. So we'll spend a good amount of time covering a lot of ground in the next 40-45 minutes. If you do have any questions or want to see certain things during the presentation, feel free to just drop those in the chat or the questions. Like I said, I've got Paviter in the background working to answer those, and I can make sure I can show things as well if I've missed anything. So wonderful, awesome. So a couple people from India, Canada, Germany, Taiwan. Great. It's awesome to see so many different time zones here. Appreciate our friends that are staying up a little bit late. We do fluctuate the time zones quite a bit every 2 weeks when we do this, so hopefully this one's not too bad for everybody. This will be recorded, so if you have to drop off, you want to show this to a colleague, you will be able to pass this along with the recording after we finish up and things like that. So we will get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with sharing my screen. So should be able to see our website. So PSPDFKit. So PSPDFKit has been in, I guess you would call this space for over a decade. We initially started as a SDK for iOS applications many years ago. That's why you see some of our customers such as Dropbox and DocuSign and customers like that who are using us on mobile, their mobile apps. And then we have evolved into a much larger offering. We've had different companies join the team and things like that. So yeah, happy to kind of jump in. So today we're going to focus mostly on our web demo. Over the years we've seen that popularity of people building web apps really grow in what a lot of people are going to market with PDF workflow. So we're gonna show quite a bit about that. So yeah, we'll get started. Already got a couple questions coming in, and we'll definitely wrap up with some pricing details and stuff at the end. Okay, so in terms of products, like I was saying, so PSPDFKit offers a lot of different things. So, what our role is usually in a lot of different applications is anytime there's some sort of workflow with either, rendering documents, manipulating documents, processing documents, we step in and kind of take that, that process and that development time off of your hands and do that, leaving you to work on other things. And so we do it across a lot of different fronts. So, what you're looking at here on the left side of the screen is like all the different SDKs we provide. And so what makes us really special is, we take a lot of time to provide different tools for different operating systems. So we have a web SDK. So our web SDK allows you to run our viewer and different tools in a web application, similar to what you're going to see on like iOS, Vision OS, Android, Windows, Mac Catalyst. These are all products that are going to work natively in these type of applications, so that you're able to provide kind of the experience, the UI, and things like that. We get into more niche things like, Salesforce, SharePoint, Teams like that, OneDrive. And you see a lot of things there where like they don't have native viewers, and so we can step in there and do that as well. So yeah, wonderful on that. We got a few questions already popping in. Cool. Thanks, Pav. Already ahead of it. And then we have other webinars too, if you're ever interested. That goes into a couple server tools that we have if you have like, batch processing and things like that. And we have some cloud hosted servers. So great. So PSPDFKit for web. So the web SDK is a client-side integration of our PDF solution that basically all the rendering and manipulation happens in the browser. So what that means is it runs where no server is needed, and it uses WebAssembly to basically power the performance and rendering speed that we are able to provide. So what this is going to allow you to do is get up and running really, really quickly in a couple minutes, and then we're going to walk through some of the functionalities that you can expect using PSPDFKit for web. So one of the cool things about us when you look at kind of how we offer our solution is the scroll bar on the right is all the different components we offer. So when you go to download our trial or something like that, you're going to have access to all these different things. When you move into licensing, pricing, these kind of discussions, what's really, really interesting is we can actually tailor it to only price and license and provide the workflows that you need. So, in the simplest forms, if you just need us to help you view documents, we can give you a license for viewing. If you want to have a full e-signature solution, which is very popular using PSPDFKit, we can give you all the components for that. So the idea today is I would walk you through quite a few different components so you can get a better idea of what's possible, and we can see what's interesting. Cool. All right, so we'll jump into our web demo. Okay, so this is PSPDFKit for web. We're going to go ahead and render the document. So this is our web showcase application. As you can see, if you go to our main website and just click web demo, it pops up. We built this as a way to kind of showcase a lot of the different things you can do with PSPDFKit for web. So what you're seeing is the standard UI that you get with licensing PSPDFKit. So this would pop into your application. You go to open a PDF. This is what would pop up. And this is how you would view the document. So the first thing and the most important thing with our renderer, our viewer component. So PSPDFKit is built off of an open source tool called PDFfume. We made the conscious decision to fork off PDFfume about 8 to 10 years ago. If you don't know what PDFfume is a open source PDF renderer that is owned and backed by Google. It's what Chrome uses when you open a PDF in Chrome. So what we've done is we got the advantage of forking off of that. So we have the ability to always go back and, fix any things in the core PDFfume open source package. So we have control over that. But then we have 8 to 10 years of building on top of it, which is most of the functionality you're going to see today, because PDFfume is only a viewer. So it's basically double benefits of having open source backed by Google, millions and millions and millions of people of using it, super secure, and then you get the benefit of our engineering team, what they built. So I'm going to open this custom sidebar that we've built. So we're going to talk a little bit about our viewer. So really impressed with our viewer. There's a couple things that come with it. So if you just wanted to go in with like a viewing experience, maybe you're using a browser, maybe you're popping out to Adobe. There's a lot of different ways people look at PDFs. But if you're interested in keeping the viewing experience within your application without leaving, this can be something you could get done today. So, being able to navigate between the different pages, being able to zoom in to a very high severity and still have good fidelity, fit to page, being able to search within the document and seeing those results come up, downloading, printing, different transitions and things like that. These are all pretty standard viewing things that we support. We've got thumbnails and then an outline as well. One of the great things about a lot of PDF SDKs in this space is that, there's a PDF specification that a lot of us adhere to. So, being able to pull outlines from documents that may be created with Adobe or things like that. We're able to do that. You can use that to kind of pop around the document. We also have bookmarks and things like that. So yeah, that's a quick review of just kind of some of the standard viewer features for PDFs. One of the cool things we definitely want to highlight is that, you know, PSPDFKit is used in thousands and thousands of applications. However, it's unlikely that you're aware of it. A lot of that is because we allow so much customization to be done with the SDK so that you're able to theme it, make it look like your application itself. So what we look at is like little things like toolbar customization. So maybe you're working in a DRM, and so you want to be able to pull out certain things like, you know what, we really don't want anybody to be able to zoom, so we can disable that. We definitely don't want people to be able to export or search the document. So we give a lot of flexibility in terms of being able to, you know, change the toolbar around, move where icons are, change what icons are, you know, disable certain functionalities. And so that customization comes in helpful when you're looking like that. Same thing with like different themes. So like if you want to change the colors to match your company colors, maybe you work on behalf of clients and clients go, well, I really want our company colors in there. So get a lot of abilities to kind of manipulate the experience, and that's all built into the viewer. So you know, there's a lot of great open source viewers in the market. But, you know, sometimes, you know, getting early on into, you know, a journey where you're going to have a lot of workflows built on PDFs, it's good to kind of consider a vendor, especially when, you know, we already have things like localization to be able to support different languages and things like that. So, you know, we'll jump to German real quick. Understand that we've got some people from Germany, so you can see it's localized to German and things like that. And that's super helpful. Cool. Yep. Back to English. Great. Wow. Chat's blowing up. Let's see. PDF Thank you, Paviter. Thank you, Paviter. Cool. Busy chat. Wonderful. So that's viewer. So I don't see a lot of other questions about the viewer. So we'll move on. So back to our component list. So we're going to jump down. We're going to jump down to annotations. This is a really common spot where we see a lot of people who maybe thought of going with open source. When they start going into, you know, I need to manipulate the document, I need to annotate the document. That's where we'll really start to see people kind of come and speak to us, because there's not a open source tool that has annotations and does it well very in the market. So as you can see, we have 23 different annotation types. So when we look at annotating a document, what you're going to see with PSPDFKit is we are essentially adding an annotation layer to the PDF. So we'll click on annotations. We drop in here again. Shout out to PDF Fume. There's questions about that. If anyone has questions about PDF Fume, you can download this from our trial, come read it. So yeah, and so one of the cool things about annotation is we're adding additional layer to the PDF. You can then just flatten it into the PDF, burn it into the PDF. You can keep it editable. You can do a lot of this. You can download the document, opening it up in another. You can open it up in another PDF tool. It should remain there because we're following the spec. But lots of cool annotation types. You know, the probably most common one would be our ink annotation. So that's going to allow you to just kind of freehand draw on the PDF, and then within it, we always have our annotation inspector, which allows you to customize the annotations, you know, in terms of colors, you know, backfill. You can change the opacity and, you know, the transparency of things, the line thickness. And so we want to give you a lot of tools based on your workflow. You know, we work with a lot of different industries. And so we know there's a lot of different use cases of how PDFs come into play. So we try to be as flexible as possible. So yeah, so that's freehand annotations. We have a freeform highlighter if you need to highlight things. also text highlighter, and then obviously we need to be able to erase things and get things out of here if we don't like them. So I can erase some of these annotations I've made. Other annotation types, we can actually scroll down and we can see what I'm looking at here. This is called a link annotation. So if there's a hyperlink or something on the PDF, it's called a link annotation. If we click on it, it's going to pop us there, which is great. We can see some other annotation types on the PDF. So like here's more stuff about PDFfume, how many code commits PDFfume has, the number of cores by Google to fund PDFfume, who's using PDFfume and things like that, and how many users. And then you can see we've got a note annotation here that someone's added a sticky note, so we can move that around and maybe put it up here as that. Cool. Yeah. And other types of annotations, we've got image, so you can add images. You can add stamps. So let's say we want to go ahead and say we approve the use of PDFfume as our rendering engine that we've built on top of. Funny enough, this is the same stamp design that Adobe uses. So again, that cross compatibility of being able to move in and out of different tools. If you download this, you need to open it somewhere else, that consistency is going to stay there. Excuse me. Other quick things to look, we've got text annotations. You can do that, as well as call out annotations. So I can call out certain things. Fix this for us. Move this here. I want to call out certain things. Let's call out figure 2. There we go. That doesn't look good. Let's fix that. There we go. Let's call it annotation. And then last, we have shape annotations. So while you work through some of our stuff, if you're working with our free trial, you're going to see certain things that are like, cloud annotations and stuff like that. We understand, again, going with like certain industries and things like that, we make an effort to, match some of the workflows. So like cloud annotations are commonly used in like engineering and construction markup plans. So like we've added this because, a large portion of our customer base works in kind of engineering and construction. So like if there's things that you don't see when you initially try, or your current customer PSPDFKit, like let us know. Like we definitely want to hear what's missing and things like that. We can share our roadmap and things like that as well. So last bit to wrap up annotations before taking a look at the chat. We do have the ability to, if you highlight text, to be able to do certain things like strike through and things like that. One of the cool things about PSPDFKit is like we expose a ton of APIs so that you would actually be able to extract all the text underneath the underlying. And so you could actually work with this stuff that you're highlighting and things like that. But that is a very quick look at annotations. But we do so much. We want to make sure we get through everything so everyone can have a chance to see what PSPDFKit does. Metadata, annotation, server environment, client still good base. Y'all are keeping Paviter busy today. It's great. JS examples, streaming, cool, wonderful. Okay, this sounds great. Cool. Thanks, Pav. You're doing great. Wonderful. So back to so we did viewing and annotation. So one of the most, again, probably one of the most common combinations of people using PSPDFKit. I saw a lot of people asking about signature workflows and things like that. And so, excuse me, going to get into a couple things. Let me make sure my mic is still working. Let's see. Great. Mic's still working. Cool. Get into PDF Acroform support, so form viewing and filling, as well as signatures. So signatures have become a huge part of PDFs. With tools like DocuSign and things like that, we've seen a growing interest in people coming in saying, you know, I want to build a SaaS solution for signatures, or part of my app, I want to have a signature process. So there's a huge level of a huge sliding scale of like what people need to do. And I think we do a really good job checking a lot of different boxes. The first thing to kind of understand it in its most simplest form when it comes to signatures is what we would call electronic signature. So an electronic signature would be this icon that's up on the toolbar. We click it and we get our signature UI, and we call this our electronic signature component. And so what this does is allow you to sign in a couple different ways. So you can sign with the simple ink signature. You can sign with dragging an image. You can also type your signature as well. So we're gonna go ahead and clear this out. X marks the spot. We'll go blue because PSPDFKit, and I'll do that. So what I've done is basically add an ink signature, and I can drop it anywhere I want on the PDF. Obviously, I want to probably drop it on there. So that's electronic signatures. Okay. Where forms come into play with this is PDF Acro forms are part of the PDF spec, which allows you to essentially bind certain information to certain parts of the PDF. And so what you're seeing here is you're asking for certain information. So first name is John, last name is Smith, email is johnsmith at, google.com. These form fields are basically giving you an ability to collect information. And so we do, check boxes, radio buttons, things like that, drop downs, things like that, phone numbers, 999, 999, 1234, things like that. But what's cool about PSPDFKit is we can, as you can see, this one's already filled out. We can programmatically fill this out. You can hook this into your database so that the fields are already pre-filled out. But then after they're filled out, you can also take that information and map that back to your database and do that as well. So why is this kind of connected with forms or connected with signatures? Because there's a form field called the signature box. And so right now we have this signature box. We have this form field at the bottom right of the PDF that says signed. So what we've done is we've wrapped our electronic signature component. And so that when you click on a form field that is designated a signature box, it pulls our signing UI. We sign again. I probably should have asked it to save it. I hit done, and instead of having to drag and dropping it, it binds it to the box and it auto fits it. So that helps us kind of go ahead and knock out that digital signature process. Where things get fun, if you have like a standard contract or an NDA that's always signed the same way, like this is a great thing. If you have a more in-depth like signature process, where like maybe the fields don't exist always, we can cover that as well for you. Because like what you can see is we also have something called form creation. So what you're able to do is we can drag, and I can pick signature field and I can drag and drop different forms to the PDF. So maybe I need a second signature on this PDF for the course sign up. Within the UI as well, I can drop this down and I can go, well, this is a pretty important signature. We're going to make it red. I'm going to make the outline black because I really want to make sure people see that they need to sign this. I can rotate it. I always think it's funny, make it upside down or something like that. And then I can even go into advanced. So I can name it, custom data. This is going to be a required field. Like this has to be signed off if someone wants to sign up for this data science course. And then it gets an ID. So maybe if I want to do something in terms of mapping this to something as well. So like I can create these forms. I can also delete stuff. So like, I don't really want this form anymore. I don't really like radio buttons. I'd rather have a checkbox here. I think it's less confusing. So we're able to create these things as well. And then like I could download it, open it up into PDF Fume, and there we go. We've got the forms and everything. The checkbox is still there. And I'm using I'm using PDF Fume in Chrome right now to render this. So great. So like we can see like all that work I did with PSPDFKit, I just popped it out to another viewer, and everything still looks great. So that's really awesome for us. Okay. The last thing we would want to do on our signature journey is like, okay, maybe a digital signature is not, maybe an electronic signature is not enough. Maybe I want to go to a full-fledged digital signature. So applying a digital certificate to the PDF that's going to say, this person signed it, it hasn't been altered, we can do that for you. Now, while PSPDFKit is not a certificate agency, we can apply your certificates, and we've got great documentation on like what you can do in terms of that. So we're going to go ahead and look on the sidebar. Okay, so we're going to create a new signature field. We've got our signature image here. We could upload one. Here's signer, John Doe, demo. I want with the description. We'll do caddis. I'm going to sign the document. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that digital certificate to the PDF. Wonderful. So you see up here, we have the digital certificate up here. I could have placed it on the signature box as well. But what's cool about PSPDFKit is that in most digital signature workflows is you have this banner that we're going and say, hey, John Doe signed it. It's digitally signed. Everything's good. No one's messed with the document. If I come in and mess with the document and change it at all at any point, we immediately invalidate the digital certificate and tell you like, hey, this has been changed. Like, you heads up, you may not want to consider this legally binding anymore. So we're able to really support that full workflow of, hey, I just need to add like my scribble on a PDF. That's good. All the way to like, I need to create signature fields. I need to fill out form fields. I need to add digital signatures. We can take you through that entire journey depending on what your requirements are. And so, you know, one of the cool things about this sidebar that here is, yes, why it's not standard to our UI. Everything here is a example or a code snippet that we can help you use to help get to kind of the endpoint you need. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Moving forward. So we're making good progress. Viewing, forms, annotations, signatures. So cool. We still look good. Browser support goes back many versions. Don't touch IE11. Got it. Thanks, Pav. So a couple other things on the website. So document editor. So document editor is a tool that we were asked to build by a customer who just got really annoyed that anytime they needed to merge a document, they had to leave the application. They're like, anytime we got to rotate a document, merge a document, anything, is like, we really get annoyed that we have to leave our app, go do it, come back in it. And so what we built something called the document editor. So it's this nice little icon here that when we open it up, it shows us the PDF. If the thumbnails are too small, we can zoom in and get a better look at them. And then, yeah, time to edit the document. So, you know, I need to make this page 1. I want to rotate this one. Maybe I don't need this page anymore, so I can delete it. And I want to add a blank page at the beginning. And so actually, let's move it at the end. And so at the bottom right, I have the prompt say, do I want to save it? Do I want to save over the original document? Do I want to save as a new document? I'm given the option to kind of do what I want here. So I hit save. And now I've got a brand new document here. So that allows me to do all that within the document without ever having to leave. And it's really, really useful. You can import documents as well. So if I wanted to add a document here, so I just downloaded that form earlier that we were working on the other part of the demo, and I want to hit save. Here's my form, my signature box that we created earlier. Add that signature, make sure it's nice, big and red. And then here's here. So a lot of merging that I'm able to do here and be able to work with the document. So super powerful stuff. Yeah. And helps you kind of keep all this stuff within your app because, you know, less paper trails, less tools, easier workflow, less clicks. This helps you really move quicker through your day to day, and saves you and your users clicks. Okay. Cool. Great. So we're making some good time. Some things I would like to mention, just as kind of in passing, you know, PDFs are kind of the commonality format that we work with right now. That doesn't mean you can't use other documents with PSPDFKit. So with image documents, you know, TIFFs, PNGs, JPEGs, you can convert those to PDFs using PSPDFKit as you render them, and then you can still do everything I'm showing. Same thing with Office file support. What we allow you to do is basically take other documents, convert them to PDFs, and then you're able to view them, annotate them, sign them, things like that. So it allows you to really open the scope of kind of the different workflows that you're able to do. And so that's really helpful for different types of different users. So, you know, you don't have to have a vendor for images. You don't have to have a vendor for Office files. We can do it all for you. Okay. Same thing with stuff like PDFA. If you need to make things PDFA compliant, and other things like that. So cool. Checking the chat and the questions. Cool. Thank you, Pav. Extract flow. Cool. All right. So replace text on a file, but not just change text. Cool. So good question, Felix. I'll let Pav answer that too, but that kind of rolls into our next part of the demo. So most of the stuff I've been showing is adding additional layer to the PDF. So I'm annotating and I'm adding additional layer. Sometimes, you know, when you, let's say, convert an Office file to a PDF, this is an example. We converted a PowerPoint to a PDF. And so we forgot to finish everything out. So typically what you would have to do is go back to the source document and change it. We have built a tool called Content Editor that when we enable it, allows you to then change the underlying text on a PDF. And so that allows me to do much more like document authoring. So being able to move where the original text was, maybe, you know, the date's wrong, maybe you're sending out a quote to somebody and you need to do that. So I can click on this, you can click on stuff, move it around. I can also go to like different subtitles and go, all right, well, we're gonna actually change this to, you know, webinar title. Oh, need a little more space here. You know, we're really not feeling Helvetica. Let's go to Times New Roman. And I want to make everyone know that this is really important in terms of my webinar title. So yeah, it gives you more of a content editor and being able to work with documents if you need to make changes, need to make content editing changes, paragraph changes, things like that. So yeah, we've been really happy with this and things like that. And then you can save on top of it. And now you have new documents and things like that. So cool. I think Pav's about to respond to you, Felix, about replacing text on the PDF. Here we go. And then I'll pause for questions real quick. Looks like we're still good. And then another complex tool would be redaction. So redaction is a tricky one when it comes to PDFs because a lot of vendors do it a lot of different ways. And when I say that's in terms of saying you can redact something should mean that you can remove it permanently from the PDF so that it's unsearchable. You're removing the underlying images, text from the PDF. It's not always the case when you use certain redaction tools. You can use certain libraries to still extract the data. You can still search it. One of the cool things about PSPDFKit is we are able to do this. So if I pull up Acme Bank in this view and I go search for stuff, I go Acme, it shows up 6 times. Okay. So we're going to come back to our redaction example, and we're going to go ahead, highlight this, and we're going to mark it for redaction. Okay. So marking it for redaction, we're going to say we're doing this because of a webinar. Wonderful. I'm going to pull here. I'm going to apply my redaction. So here we go. We moved it out. So we highlighted the text. We could also go find it somewhere else. Let's see. We look for Acme. We could also highlight this and just do it that way and apply it. So we have text selection, plus we have an area redaction as well. So if we wanted to maybe remove someone's photo from a candidate application, we could do that and apply it. But this allows us to essentially do stuff. But what's nice is if I download this now and I open my new document and I go to search Acme again, there we go. So we're getting less instances of it. So it says 1 out of 5 now because we've removed this from the PDF. So we're not able to find it anymore, which is the intent of redaction. So it's good. If we had put an annotation box on top of it, that underlying information is still there. It's just not, you're not able to see it even though it's still there. We've removed it from the PDF. So it's pretty helpful. So, if a redaction is part of your workflow, we've got a couple built-in redaction tools. What that means is you can launch it, and what we do is we have certain pre-built strings that you can do. So I'll pop in smart redaction. And what this does is it's going to go to auto detect all these different things on the PDF that we commonly would want to redact. And so then I can preview it and then I can get rid of them. So a lot of flexibility there with redaction. So wonderful. So back to our components, kind of more talking about this, being able to maybe start with PSPDFKit from the viewer and come back and say, I want to add annotations now. This is incredibly easy. So we're able to really, allow you to start with what you need. And then as, requirements change over time, you can add as needed. And so, we've talked to some of the core functionality, content editor, redaction. We have some more niche things. I don't know if anyone is on here that's kind of in the, construction engineering space, things like that. But, we've built certain things like measurement tools where you can actually measure the distances between areas. So like if I wanted that, measure from here, so let's zoom in so I can snap pretty well. I need to hold that. So I can go here, you can see how it's snapping to each grid line, and I can measure distances between stuff. So, we can do that. We also provide different, we can do the area of places as well. And you can see that we've built snapping in, and this is super, super helpful. We can also confirm this here. So measurements there. The other thing that we typically show, if you are in the construction or engineering spaces, we also have a tool called comparison, which is super cool for like vector-based documents. You can see that we have two different documents. So what I'm doing, you see here on the top right, is a grid. I'm looking for 3 points on the PDF. That is going to allow me to take 2 versions of a document. Put that there. All right. Let's see, I need to zoom out so I can get that box out of my way. I'll put that there. And then what's cool is we've just taken 2 different PDFs, overlaid them on top of each other, and now you can see the difference of them. You can see we've got a different wall here, down here in the bottom. We can see the walls different up here. So we've done this for vector-based PDFs. So you see this. We've also done it for text-based PDFs. So you can overlay documents and kind of find the difference with them. So great. So we're getting towards the end of the quick demo. There's a lot of things here that we kind of want to touch on and highlight. So, PSPDFKit has a lot of great stuff. You know, we have our own proprietary OCR engine. We can generate PDFs from HTML. We have some great stuff on the server as well in terms of, you know, barcode reading, image conversion, you know, key value pairing, smart redaction, linearization, all types of conversion stuff. So like, you know, the best thing you can do is maybe come and have a conversation with us. Some helpful hints on the website that we definitely try to give everyone. You know, if you haven't got started with an evaluation version, you can come here and get started. Our trial basically allows you to download our latest version, everything that was on that feature list, and then it gives you basically a watermark on the PDF, but it allows you to really evaluate whether PSP is a good fit. And so you come in to get started, free trial. Today we did a web trial. Let's say our front end is just JavaScript, and we're going to go get started. We'll walk you through in our documentation to get started. And at the end of this, you'll have PSPDFKit up and running in your application. And it's simple as that. Pricing wise, come over here and hit contact sales. I'm going to put my information in the chat. You're welcome to reach out to me directly, and I can connect you to one of our sales team members. And then, so what you can do is you can have a conversation with us and we can get you pricing really, really quickly. Due to the number of different components, listen here, we just want to get an idea of which product you need. We do a bunch and then get an idea of what components you need, and then we can get pricing back to you pretty quickly. If it's urgent, you can always schedule a call with us right away. I think there's always availability to even get on a call the same day. So we have availability later this afternoon. If you want to talk to us right away and get a price today, you can email us directly, and then you can always email me directly and I can help out. So a lot of different things and ways to interact with our sales team in terms of getting pricing. On the technical support side, you know, Pat's one of our solutions engineers, and things like that. So he's super helpful in terms of, you know, providing solutions. He's been awesome in terms of answering a ton of questions today, which is great. You know, also we have a full distributed technical and engineering team that can do this as well. So you can see how you can get in touch with technical support. The last thing I'd like to leave you with is, you know, our documentation is not gatekept by any means. You can come in here, check out our documentation, look at our APIs, look at everything that you need to know in terms of that. Everything's there. Here's our API references. We also have an AI tool built into our documentation as well that's super helpful in terms of getting what you need. If you have trouble finding stuff, we've got a lot of things in here. And then the last thing before we wrap up, as we're coming to time, is definitely invite you to check out the solutions page if you fall into one of these categories that you're working in. And so, you know, if you happen to be, you know, in the financial industry, we take some time to kind of show, you know, what customers we're working with in that space. You know, you might use one of their tools. You can also, you know, look at different workflows and how we might be able to help out. And then at the bottom of each of these, we actually give you some ideas of maybe what components would be super helpful for you. But wonderful. And then demos and things like that. We'll take a look, Felix, at what's going on. I can take a look after this and see if we're missing any information or if something's gotten lost. You know, big thing for us here at PSPDFKit is, you know, we're happy, you know, as we kind of just scratched the surface today, we're happy to have another conversation if you'd like to see a more in-depth demo, if you'd like us to do a demo for your end users. But this was just web. We have tons and tons of other stuff. And so I appreciate everyone's patience today, and we look forward to connecting with you next time. If there's not any more questions, we can call it a day. Again, this will be sent to you in an email, and you can share it with other people. But Paviter, appreciate all your help. Kevin, thanks for the feedback for sure. If there's anything we missed or anything you would like to see us do in the future, feel free to shoot me an email. I'm always open for feedback and how we can improve these things to make them more valuable for you. All right. Everyone have a wonderful Thursday, and looking forward till next time.